Okay, so today we'll be discussing about archaeological anthropology. As we have studied earlier, it is the branch of anthropology which studies the remains and try to recollect what was the culture and the past that human had. So we will be writing answers to this particular question, right? So we'll start with the definition according to Elliot Abraham. We'll write down the definition that he has given. Archaeological anthropology is a study of past human cultures through material remains. Through material remains. So, according to Elliot Abraham, I'll request you to write down this name. This name will not appear further, but when it comes to archaeological anthropology, you should mention the name of an anthropologist who gave the definition. So, Elliot Abraham, he gave this definition that archaeological anthropology is the study of past human and culture through material remains. It involves, what does it involve is excavation, it will involve analysis, right? It will also involve interpretation. Interpretation of artifact, soil, and cultural process. So this will be the definition as well as introduction that we will be writing in the answer when it comes to archaeological anthropology. So we will try to know the basic of archaeology. Okay, archaeological anthropology. We will not write down much now. We'll just talk about it, the branches and the relevance of it. So archaeology exists as a separate discipline, but in its study of human being it gets connected to anthropology, and thus making it humanistic science. Archaeological anthropology tries to find and explain the origin and growth of development of culture. So what it does, it tries to find the origin, growth, and development of culture. The material remains of human themselves are matter of investigation. For example, excavation, where different and origin, both biological and social evolution, can be comprehended. These include, when we talk about human, skulls, bones, or any other aspect which is related to physical body, it comes under the biological aspect. When it comes to pottery, weapons, etc., this will be the part of culture. Okay, so moving forward, we'll talk about the scope. Okay, now we'll be talking about the scope of archaeological anthropology. That what is the scope of archaeological anthropology? In archaeological anthropology, the material remains of human themselves. So this is important. First is material remains, right? First is material remain of human first, and the second is human themselves. We can find in human themselves, we see bones, skulls, teeth, etc. So these are the matter of investigation through the methods like excavation, whereby prehistory. So what we trace here is prehistory, proto-history, and civilization period. So these are the things that we study as a matter of fact when it comes to the subject is our subject. Moving forward, we'll talk about the sub branches that it has. So yes, you should write down this thing. This will be important. So the first sub branch is prehistoric. So what we will study in prehistoric is that there is no written documents available. No written documents are available. Okay, so it covers their origin. First, what does it covers? It covers the origin. Then it covers their evolution. So it starts with origin, then goes to evolution, then goes to their development, diffusion, and etc. and so on. See, this evolution. What is evolution? What is diffusion? This terminologies we will study in chapter 2 of paper 1. So have some patience that what is particularly diffusionism, what is evolutionism, etc. The second thing that we are going to deal is text aided archaeological anthropology. Text aided archaeological anthropology. But before that, you should understand that in prehistoric, how we'll study is through bones, tools that they used, for example both stone as well as wood if available. Then we'll study metal if they're using any, pottery, etc. This will come under this. In text aided archaeological anthropology, that anthropology is assisted by documentation and inscription. So there is availability of documents and inscriptions, but this is not necessary that we have deciphered the scripts as such. This is commonly known as classical archaeology. So text aided archaeology is commonly known as classical archaeology. It basically deals with the reconstruction of various reconstruction. So it deals with the reconstructions of various ancient civilization in India from Harappa to Maurya. Can be we can say that this comes under text aided. Text aided from Harappa to Maurya. It comes under text aided. The third sub branch is text free archaeological anthropology. Text free archaeological anthropology. So how this material is available is through the excavation. It is available through excavation. So there is digging, etc., excavation, diggings, etc., and the materials are taken out. So it is concerned with illiterate people who do not require text material, and the evidence are digging out things at the excavation site. The fourth sub branch is salvage archaeological anthropology. Salvage archaeological anthropology. It is the branch of archaeological anthropology. Extra effort is done by archaeologists and anthropologists in order to find out maximum information possible through investigation. So little more efforts are placed by archaeologists as well as anthropologists through the process called as investigation. They usually excavate the site which is threatened by natural calamities. So the sites which are threatened by natural calamities etc. are being excavated by the anthropologist and archaeologist, and try to bring out the fact and statistic about the cultural life of that particular time. Now we will study the important thing which is called as the application. That why application of archaeological anthropology. In application of archaeological anthropology, first point is what are the areas that we are going to see its application. So first application is archaeological anthropology itself. The second is paleoanthropology. The third here is neo-archaeology. Fourth is settlement archaeology. The fifth here is the conclusion that we will make. So in archaeological anthropology, what we will see here is that the history of cultures. So what we'll study here is history of culture, their origin, evolution, and their diffusionism, etc. We'll study in archaeological anthropology. In paleoanthropology, the important area to study is the people who lived in Paleolithic time. So people who lived in Paleolithic time are the key area of study in paleoanthropology. In neo-archaeology, here we'll study the process by which human live. So what we'll study is here process, the process by which human lived. In settlement archaeology, it will deal with the study of settlement in landscape, that in what landscape, which type of places, which type of huts they made. So for example, in Eskimos, they'll make Eskimos in Alaska, they'll have certain types of huts, what they call it as and then there will be people like Bushmen, they'll make some type of huts. In India there will be consider tribes such as Gond, they'll make some type of settlement. So that everything will come under settlement archaeology. So concluding this everything, we see this, that the study of mankind from time of the creation, development of different culture and achievement they made it, and the reconstruction of the history with the help of material remains such as skulls, bone, and fossil pollen remains, artificial and artifact burials ground, etc. These are the things from which we can reconstruct the history of the material available with us. And with the help of archaeological anthropology, paleoanthropology, and neo-archaeology and settlement archaeology, we can think here about making sure that we have a good sort of digging there. So how will we write the answer? So if any question comes on archaeological anthropology, we'll start with the definition. First definition given by Elliot Abraham, that archaeological anthropology is the study of past human culture through material remains such as Material elements such as bones, etc., that we have studied, right? Bone, skulls, artifacts, pottery, etc. Through the process of excavation, then there's analysis, interpretation of artifact, soil, culture, cultural process, etc. Then moving forward, we will talk about the scope. Scope is that the material, what we are going to study here is material remains of human and human themselves. In human themselves, we'll study with the bones and skulls, teeth which are available. Then we'll come to sub branches. Sub branches, we will study that how many branches are there: the prehistoric, text aided, text free, and salvage. We'll write down about no written documents available here in prehistoric. In text added, we'll Harappa to Maurya, where documents as well as inscription were available. Then after doing that, we'll come to application of archaeological anthropology, where we'll write about the archaeological anthropology, paleoanthropology, neo-archaeology, and settlement archaeology. Concluding everything, we will write down that how this archaeological anthropology is important in order to reconstruct the history and culture. Through, we'll write down the names of application, right, through this method with the help of artifact, fossils, bone remains, etc. So this is the end for the archaeological anthropology. In the next video, we'll meet with some other new topic.